and the shops locked up. I've peeped inside, a few persons here and there. Okay? Anyone who has not opened, for main market, of all markets, to be shut down. I know that people have done this sit at home on Mondays for quite some time now. And as they say, an abomination that lasts a year becomes culture. No. This can no longer go on in Anambra. Yes, are you hearing me? Yes. And I will tell you this. You either decide that you want to trade here or you can go elsewhere. Are you hearing me? Yes, sir. This main market, if you don't want it open, I'll come and take bulldozer and level it. Are you hearing me? Yes. And I'm very, very serious about it. I'm not joking. Going forward, any Monday, any shop that is not open will be locked for 1 week. And let me tell you this. As I'm speaking to you now, when I finish this whole main market and all the adjoining these things will be locked down for the whole of this week. There will be no market anywhere here. Are you hearing me? Each Monday will come and inspect. If people are not in their respective shops, it will be shut down again. If you don't like it, go elsewhere and trade. But if you are here, we're not going to allow this. It's plain economic sabotage. And also we suspect whoever closes their shop to have some criminal intent.
Those are the words of Governor Soludo, the governor of Anambra State. And the governor has spoken. Well, he's gotten flags, he's gotten commendation. Let's speak with the Commissioner for Information in the state, Mr. Lomefo. He joins us virtually. Mr. Lomefo, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for...
So, let's begin with the people that are critical of the governor's statement and how the government is responding. First, they say they can choose to open their shop if they want to. It's within their rights to come in and go out when they want to. That's on one hand. Second, the concern around is not just using pronouncement in that sense, or fear to say you must open your shop, else we'll be considering you to be sabotaging or working together with the people that are sabotaging the economy of the state. Is there adequate security? In fact, some people are daring the governor to say, since you feel the place is that safe, keep your security in your office, walk to the market on Monday freely, and let's see how it plays out. How is he taking this?
That is a sign of. I don't see how a governor of a state will have to move around without a level of security. But let me quickly say, there's no way a responsible government they ask the players to go back to the jobs every month. So this has been done in some round. The Nigeria Police Force Anambra and our name, which is the Anambra State. So there is security on the ground. I want to say that they have every right to open shops when they want. First and foremost, it is important we know that the Onitsha main market actually belongs to Anambra State government. And a tenant and a landlord, they have some relationship, even under the law. So they cannot say that the Onitsha main market will run the way and manner they want it. No, that will be overreaching. And besides that, the government of a state has an oversight function over everything, including markets in the state. Onitsha main market inclusive in the case of Anambra. So you can see that the governor and his government have every right to ensure that there is an even running of the state. And beyond this also, there is the threat you mentioned, that people say there is no security. I have already told you that there is adequate security. In fact, if you visit the Onitsha market today, you will see what I mean. And you can move around Anambra State, you will see that Anambra is safe for business. The fear factor is no longer there. Maybe in the past, when this ultimatum started, but now it is no longer an issue. Fear factor is no longer an issue. So there is no further justification for the continued shutdown of markets in Anambra, particularly on its main market, which is arguably the biggest market in the entire West Africa.
Mr. Amefo, if I may come in, Mr. Amefo, just a moment, if you can hear me. You say Anambra is safe, there is no fear factor. So explain to me, the average Nigerian believes that the Igbo man is a very industrious person, and there's enough and plenty of evidence to that effect. They love to trade, they love to do business, they are very active. So people that are naturally endowed with such entrepreneurial spirit will just suddenly not want to go to their shops. Is that what, because you're saying there is no fear factor, I'm querying your no fear factor argument.
No more fear factor. You need to get this point. I said, and let me repeat for emphasis, that initially there was fear factor, justified, but it's no longer there. You know, for months and years, Anambra security has been fairly restored. So there is no longer any fear factor. And you see, what has happened is that the fear factor led to the closing of the markets and even offices every Monday in the past. And over time, the traders now converted Monday into an extension of the weekend. And this in itself is seriously affecting the socio-economic life of the state. In fact, statistics have said that Anambra is losing an average of 8 billion every Monday that the markets are shut. This is very serious. And if you look at it from that perspective, you can see that the government has a responsibility to ensure that the economy is running on an even keel again. And those who are opposing it are simply being mischievous. And that is why the governor rightly called it economic sabotage. There is a genuine shutting down of markets in Anambra State. And let me also mention this. It's not as if the governor just woke up and stopped over at the Onitsha main market and shut it down. No, this is a product of the Executive Council of the state. ASEC met in a retreat 2 Mondays ago and took a decision that efforts must be geared up towards putting an end to ultimatum in Anambra. So you can see that it's not just the governor, it's the entire government that took that decision. The governor was implementing it as it were. And it is not going to be only on the Chade market. All the other over 150 markets you have in Anambra State will be visited. And any of them found to be shut on any Monday will have to receive the same treatment. And it has to be done. It is inevitable now. It has been on for about 4 years. And if you check that you have 56 Mondays in a year, multiplied by 4, and then multiplied by 8 billion, you will see what the state is losing for Monday sit-at-home. This is in excess of 1 trillion. And it has to stop. The state is hemorrhaging. And beyond the issue of economic losses, you know, if you are expecting investors to come into your state, do you have to keep promoting the fear factor? The perception that Anambra is insecure is no longer valid. Anambra is well secure, and you can check the peer review reports by the Nigerian security agencies. They are there. The police, the DSS, they will tell you the state of security in Anambra. We just finished the Yuletide and New Year, and it was a mass return from the Anambra. If there wasn't enough security, I don't think Anambra would have witnessed that unprecedented mass return. So there are several factors. We just have to end the sit at home. We have had enough of it.
So, Mr. Mefo, if you can hear me,
yes.
Pardon me, let's interrogate the government approach a bit more. And this is not the first time that Governor Soludo will do a routine tour of markets in the state and condemn the sit-at-home order. But we are not seeing results. So is that something fundamentally wrong with the approach of the government in tackling this sit-at-home order in Anambra State? What should the government be doing differently? Why are the traders not convinced about the assurances of the government about the provision of adequate security? Are there CCTV cameras, in those markets? And how, what's the proximity of, the nearest deployment of security operatives in the market or in nearby areas to markets in Anambra State that would be convincing enough to the traders to ensure, to give them the confidence to come out on Mondays?
Yeah, you see, Onitsha holds a whole cantonment of Nigerian army. That is one Onitsha itself. The distance between the Onitsha cantonment and the main market is maybe 5 minutes. And of course, Onitsha itself has up to half a dozen divisional police commands. So it's not a matter of security presence. We have more than enough of that in Onitsha. And again, for those who really want the Monday sit-at-home to end, assuming the Onitsha main market leaders or leadership actually share the same concern with the governor, they can also work out the level of security they need with the Nigeria police force, with the governor, and that they would get. If for example, they believe that what we have provided is not enough, they should make a direct demand that this is what they want for them to operate freely and peacefully. This hasn't come. We have been in conversation with the market leaders across Anambra State for over a year, perhaps 2 years, on working out the modalities for the reopening of the markets every Monday. And it's all politics on their part. Like I told you, they have converted Monday into an extension of the weekend, which is an anomaly. Anambra cannot be different from the rest of the country. We must work on Mondays. And let me also tell you, it's not just about the markets alone. The same measures have been extended to the civil servants, majority of who were not coming to work on Mondays. And of course, the governor has implemented the pro rata salary system. So you don't come to work on Monday, you lose your pay for that day. Nobody's dismissing you, but no work, no pay on Mondays. This is the policy. And the schools must reopen. Schools don't even open on Mondays as well. So you can see that we're not talking about just markets or Onitsha main market. Onitsha main market is symbolic because of its size. But I tell you that the workers have resumed. Last Monday, yesterday was Monday, the secretariat was bustling with life. It never happened before in the last 3 to 4 years. It's ending. The teachers are back to classrooms. On Mondays, last Monday they were everywhere, and that's what we want. The state must be restored fully to its normal social life.
But Mr. Mefo,
that is the determination of the governor. You see, just one more point before you take over. The point is, it's not a matter of security. The market leaders ought to work out security arrangement if what government and the police have provided, is considered inadequate by them. We haven't gotten that request. So the problem is no longer security. They have other conversions they have made, which they want to protect, and that is extending the weekends to the Mondays we have now.
So if this is not about their safety and there's more to it that you're trying to make us understand, we may have to interact with the leadership or the representatives of those markets in Onitsha and in other parts of Anambra State, such that we get a holistic sense of what is actually going on. But what about the fundamental human rights of the market traders, the traders in the market themselves? Because if, as entrepreneurs who have control of their time and their resources, if they choose to say, we do not want to come out on Monday, then I doubt that the government has the right to impede in any way on their fundamental human rights. My question. All right, I'll take it again. I was talking about, you know, getting an aerial view of the concerns of the people beyond what you're telling us, which we'll have to explore in the coming days. But more importantly, if the traders choose not to come out on Mondays, they reserve the right as entrepreneurs who have control of their time and their resources. And if the government, you know, tries to impede on that, wouldn't this be a breach of their fundamental human rights?
You know, you make it as if the entire population of the traders on the Jamaican market agreed that there should be Monday sit at home. That is not the truth. The truth is that this is being enforced by a clique. And because of intimidation and everything, the majority that want to trade on Mondays are silent. Now it is the duty of government to give them the space to ply their trade. You know, and that is exactly what the issue is now. By Monday, the place will be reopened for those who want to trade. And even if it is a handful of traders that are found available, they will have to.
The network is not very friendly this morning. You're saying that it's a clique that have decided and gone ahead to make this sit-at-home a big deal at the markets. Well, Jeffrey made the point earlier that we know our brothers and sisters in the Southeast, not just in Anambra State now, to be industrious wherever they are, even beyond the shores of Nigeria. And so this love for trade is evident. So we may need to interrogate the position of government more keenly to find out exactly what the challenge or the challenges are, as the case may be, because there are reports that in other parts of the Southeast, the sit-at-home order no longer obtains, but not necessarily in the hinterland in other parts of the Southeast, maybe in capital cities. So we're trying to understand, get a full sense in market, which is, you know, the subject in focus now. So you were talking about, you were responding to this being their fundamental human right, and government has no right to impede on it whatsoever. So I'm not talking about their determination to go ahead and implement this as a commitment to observing the Monday sit-at-home order. But on their own, if they say, we don't want to work on Mondays, they have the right to do so.
Mixing this up, it is not all the traders that agree on this Monday sit-at-home. So it is also an infringement on the fundamental human rights of the traders that want to trade on Mondays. And it is the duty of the government to ensure that such infringement stops. So those who do not want to trade should leave the market for those who want to trade on Mondays. That is what the government has said. That is what the governor has announced. This is not an infringement on anybody's fundamental human rights, because where your right stops is where mine begins. A clique cannot use violence, coercion, and all manner of threats to ensure that the majority of traders who want to trade on Monday do not trade.
But what,
as a responsible government, it is important.
Mr. Mefo, what if they meet their commitments in taxes and in payment of stalls and in cleanliness, every responsibility that covers Mondays as well?
Yeah, they do that, yes, to some extent, but the fact remains that they don't allow people to open their shops. They don't have any right to stop who wants to trade on Monday from trading. This is the point I'm making. They do not have such rights. Never. Not under the law, not under morality, not under anything. There are traders that want to trade, and the governor and his government want them to trade on Mondays. Those who do not want to trade on Mondays should stay away from the markets. That is the point.
We're totally out of time.
We're totally out of time. The government...
Yes, we're totally out of time, but 30 seconds. So if I come to Onitsha main market, will I see the presence of vigilante or security? Are there CCTVs? What is there that physically can give me assurance that that place is safe?
To Onitsha main market, as we speak now, you see the Nigerian Army, you see the Nigerian Police, you will see DSS, you will see Civil Defense, you will see our own Aguna Chamber, which is our vigilante. The place is fully policed, so it's no longer a problem of security. And I repeat, if they believe the security provided by government is not sufficient, can they make a direct demand that this is the level or kind of security they need? Because everything there is to security in Anambra and in Nigeria, is made available to the traders in the main market and in all other markets in Anambra, as a matter of fact.
Apologies, Mr. Mefo. We'll continue to watch how things evolve. But we must thank you for coming on the program and for giving us the side of the government. We wish we could get the management of the market to also speak on this particular issue, but we couldn't get them on the program. But maybe some other time. I must thank you, Lord Mefo, the Commissioner for Information in Anambra State. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. We'll take a break now. When we come back, some individuals numbering about 60 at the twilight of the Muhammadu Buhari administration said they were hired by the CBN, were even told to leave their former jobs, but they never had any opportunity to resume, and this is maybe 2.5 years later. But what is the true story? We'll talk to one of those people involved. Just a moment, stay with us.